BBL 851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
The status of a new aircraft within the aviation industry is always up in the air. That's no pun intended. It feels as if for the large majority of concepts, they simply remain as concepts and never see the light of day. However, this does not mean that companies around the world, from aircraft manufacturers to engine manufacturers to a whole lot more, are not always actively looking at unveiling the future of the industry and what will propel them forward for more sustainable travel. For Boeing, talk of their new single aisle continues to develop, following recent updates and a lengthy spell in the dark that was contributed to by the ongoing global pandemic, hitting progress in the head like a nail, the ongoing 737 MAX troubles that have been well documented here on the channel, and finally also the Boeing 777X's certification hassles that are seeing it have a delayed entry into service by almost some 4 years, by the time it is eventually flying widely with customers on board. Over at Airbus, their A320neo family is of course doing incredibly well, and they've just recently launched their A321XLR, which will fit into the middle of the market sector. Currently, Boeing is something at looking at hopefully diving into in the future, as by no means at all would they want Airbus collecting all of that market share. It would simply be too easy for them. Now though, NASA is eyeing up the launch of a specific program that would aid the next generation of aircraft within our aviation industry. This is a program that would, as described, allow NASA to offer technologies that would see the aircraft be more efficient by 25% over the current aircraft that we see flying today. This is naturally a massive leap and a huge bonus should this be a future technology that is included in aircraft. As we know, today's aircraft are already efficient, so imagine in a couple of years' time when this is beginning its testing. We're still though quite a fair while away from this type of thing being featured. As NASA notes, it is the SFNP, which stands for Sustainable Flight National Partnership, and often like most ideas, it can take years to fabricate. For NASA, the aim would be to see their demonstrator aircraft, which would be purposefully built to better understand and test the features that would be unveiled, is going to make its very first flight by 2026. Now that's still some 5 years away. However, it is encouraging and positive. Analysts predicted long before the pandemic that the single-aisle narrow-body aircraft would be the future, and with nowadays the increased range that most of the aircrafts harbour, they become an attractive option to almost all carriers around the world. With Airbus's launch of the A321XLR, and with Boeing largely remaining unseen in the category, it's going to be very interesting to see how the sector plays out in the next decade. With the demonstrator flying in 2026, when could we expect this new bit of technology to arrive to aircraft with passengers on board? It is being widely noted that we should tentatively see it by the early 2030s, meaning it would be for technically the generation after the 737 MAX and A320neo family, if you will, as that is likely when we would see a replacement or something else potentially rolled out. Alternatively though, with the recovery of the industry and rapid rates that it will be picking up eventually with regards to travel, aircraft manufacturers may just look to accelerate the launch of new domestic aircraft, meaning that this could be a clean sheet design, and that is likely what's going to potentially happen, with none other than Boeing's truss-braced wing concept, as discussed here on the channel back in 2019 when it was first launched as a concept. This is only a concept at the moment, but it was specifically worked on alongside with the help of NASA, and considering NASA is of course developing this technology, it isn't hard to put two and two together and potentially look at the brush trace wing concept as what could be the future of travel, especially if Boeing were to move forward with it and logistically it made sense. However, now I want to ask you, what do you expect from all of this? What type of aircraft do you think would be looking to have this, especially if it is in the 2030s, naturally quite a long time away? Sorry for no upload yesterday as I was busy, but I'd like to thank you all so much for the continued support, and I do look forward to you watching the next video of mine, whenever that may be.